today we're looking at how Judaism is going to affect people's daily lives, particularly during our Babylonian exile, but at all times. And so one of the things that we're going to see is the Torah is going to put a huge importance on family. It defines the roles of mothers and fathers for the traditional Israelite families here. And we see that family is going to be a running theme throughout much of the Old Testament. You know, the promise of Abraham. I mean, it means father of many, for Pete's sakes. You know, that his descendants will outnumber the stars in the sky, the grains of sand, and how all those descendants would be those who look to God as their God. So one of the things is typically headship of men within the family, so that they're going to be the head. So even an older son might wind up going and leading the family. Also with this, we're going to see that education is going to be incredibly important. It's going to be focused around the Torah. We're going to see a lot of, you know, things like wisdom literature, you know, the Song of Psalms, Proverbs, Psalms themselves. They are all going to be considered wisdom literature. And their education is going to be based around the Torah, this idea of knowing, memorizing the Torah, you know, with rabbis being important figures teaching, certainly, and even people going and having words of the Torah as part of their clothing so that they can help know it. Daughters for these traditional households are going to be taught to run the house by their moms. It's going to be pretty similar to other girls in other cultures and civilizations during this time period. One of the things that we're going to see that's going to be pretty important are the dietary laws, the kosher laws. These are still practiced by many Jewish people today, and is going to help differentiate the Jews from their Babylonian captors. And we're actually going to see that some of these laws are going to help, along with some of the Ten Commandments, are going to help fuel what's going to be our Maccabean revolt, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, when the Greeks rule over the Jews and how they're going to rebel against it, so we can get our story of Hanukkah. And so some basic ideas with kosher, just so you understand: no dairy and meat together. People basically, that saying is, so you can have, you know, cheese and crackers, or you could have a hamburger, but you couldn't have a cheeseburger. You can't connect those things together. It comes from a passage, I think in Leviticus. I can't remember. I just read it like a week or two ago. You know, don't boil a goat in its mother's milk. But you know, even if you're super strict about it, you might even have a separate kitchen and separate utensils to use different things with dairy, different things with meat. My one friend had the privilege of going to Israel, and he was bummed out at first because there were like plenty of McDonald's, and sometimes he just wanted some food that tasted like home, but he couldn't get, you know, his bacon double cheeseburger that he wanted because it wasn't kosher. Because first off, no pork either, so no bacon, and no cheese and meat. But then he found out, at least if he went to an Arab McDonald's, so someone who practiced either Islam or Christianity there instead of Judaism, that they could get a cheeseburger because they have no problem putting cheese and meat together. To further explain this, we're going to watch a short video, so I'm going to stop the recording here. I know, so long, right?